So in these couple of clips, I'm going to show the difference between uh, Eligos and Baal. They both have the same attack speed, so I feel like it's necessary to talk about both of them. As you can see, I could go faster than the survivors when I'm running around, and I feel like that's necessary for boss. I mean, Henrietta can't, and same with Evil Ash, but Baal can go invisible, and I feel like when he goes invisible, he needs to go faster than the survivors.
Crap, now I got twice the work.
And the only reason I lose boss here is because I run out of infernal energy, but I'm able to put pressure on the survivors continuously here. Even if I was using Witch, I feel like I'd be having a better time than using Baal. And she doesn't have this invincibility phase. Like, Eligos doesn't feel clunky to use, you know? He's just... He feels like you're actually doing something. Like, yes, I'm not attacking here, but I'm using hit and run tactics, which is what Baal is supposed to be. But he's too clunky for those hit and run tactics. So, like, my boss was full health there, basically. But, yeah, I just ran out of infernal energy. Now, this is me using Baal against one survivor. So I use Peekaboo so that I can get more damage with it. 30% more because I was specced into that skill tree. And I wait for him to run because I thought he was going to run down that way. So I put the trap there, but he already set up that trap, so... yeah. Then it comes to the game of me just chasing him while I'm invisible. And I actually go visible because of how long it takes me to chase him down.
Wouldn't it be much easier to work together?
And once again, I go back to chasing him. So you see that I'm only able to get one hit off because he's just able to run away. Now, I just depossess because there's no point. He got the map piece, so there's nothing I could do. So here's another situation. This was a very good team. I lost against this team because of my dope. You see, I'm only able to get this down is because they're marked, and I used my Peekaboo ability. But there, look at it, I did like a heavy, and I had such a long recovery time that they almost get the res. So I'll go for lights here. I had to switch sides just to make sure they don't get the revive. I use my ability there. That Ruby does a weird, like, attack string on me. She does, like, lights and kicks at the same time. I don't know how to do that, but if somebody knows how to do that, please tell me how. And I literally have to depossess here because it's like, I'm not going to get it down with him. And he's so clunky, like, you see me missing all those hits. Those are light attacks. And they just feel clunky. This is the same team. And this is when I have only 1 point spec then boss. And you'll see the recovery of Baal is just so long. He's like how Evil Ash was before they buffed him. And then by the time I'm able to get one, there goes my bounce bar again. I'm not expecting a bounce bar for boss bar. Like, the recovery time just seems a little too long for me. I don't really think that Baal is viable at any other level except max.
If you don't fight.
Now this is me going against basically like the same team that they had. And able to just rock my mouth bar because of how long it takes to recover after every single attack with Baal. And it's so easy to dodge. I'm only able to down that Ash because he didn't want to dodge.
Stay with me. I can't be here alone. You've gotta be more.
So I'm doing the same thing that I did with Eligos, where I'm kind of denying the res. But see how the recovery period, so I try to do this ability, and they're out of range, of course, which makes sense. But the only reason they were able to get out that res was because of how clunky Baal is, and you get stuck in attack animations. This is me using Baal. I've shown this clip before. of me against Scotty, and him just being able to kill me so easily. And he doesn't even want to attack me because he's just taunting me. But I switched to light attacks here. I lose against this team. I show, but you know, I said I don't against them really, but unfortunately the camera angle is a little bit messed up here. But I have to do light attacks. I'm forced to do light attacks.
Lost for a reason.
This is me facing the Scotty earlier with just an elite. Two hits. That's all it took. Now this is me using Boss and
Suck it up, buddy. You know.
trying to deny the res here. I was able to die on the Cheryl with Boss. But see the recovery period, they're able to get that res off because of how long it takes for him to recover after any sort of attack.
Tastes like freedom. Gonna be fine.
Like when you stop attacking, I feel like the recovery should be a lot better. It's not him just trying to style on me. And I literally have to drop, like I have the infinite energy and stuff to attack this guy, but I have to drop the possession because he's able to drink shimp so much
One and only.
just by dodging twice. Like, yeah, he's gonna burn through shimps, but yeah, it was just no reason to stay in boss there. And I could just run him away from point and down him with a basic, which is a hell of a lot easier. With 3 hits. I mean, these could kind of speak for themselves about like how bad and clunky Baal feels. I feel like Henrietta feels less clunky. This is maxed out boss, but not maxed. I think maxed out the buildings too. Let's see real quick. But you'll see that he's not even dodging. And how many hits it takes just to down a warrior with heavies while they're max straight fear, and I'm expecting to 20% more fear damage towards high fear survivors. I'm not even able to get the Cheryl to heal up. And the only reason I down these people with boss is because they're engaging with me. You see how I just backed up? How clunky this feels? Like I have so much time to just like look around as I'm using heavies. Like, I'm not saying like the heavy should be super fast. I feel like they need to just increase the speed a little bit and the recovery a little bit. It'll feel a lot better and less clunky. Because you barely lunge as well. Like I showed in my towards level 50, where you kind of lunge a little bit, but it's not that much. So here, once again, they're engaging with me, and that's the only reason I'm hitting them here. So it does 100 extra damage when you keep doing it. It goes from 300 to 400, as you saw. And I maxed out into that perk right there. Now this is the mistake they make. He has high fear, right? Look at how much recovery he had. He could have dodged away and healed. But they're just trying to tank through me. And it's the only reason they lose here. Was because they were trying to tank my hits. Which made no sense.
Don't leave me alone to die.
And then this is me using Puppeteer. The same game from the first clip I used. I don't play Puppeteer that much, so I don't have that many clips in it. But I'm just able to do so much more here. He's able to move around freely. His hits don't hit a cone in front of him. It's like a wall hitting you, which feels a lot better. I'm able to run, like, focus a survivor and not have to, like, try and focus on a team with Baal. I accidentally used my ability there. But like, this feels a lot better. I'm even using the heavy because I didn't know if he was going to run or not. And the only way they're able to really, like they have to focus Eligos as a team to win. You don't have to focus Baal. You could just literally run away from Baal. You can't run away from Puppeteer. That's kind of my point. You shouldn't be able to be run away from Boss. I could understand running away from like getting into a car. Yeah, getting into a car can get you away from Eligos too. But like Plague is another good one where like they reduced her speed when she was attacking, but she's still viable. Like she does like her speed on her attacks. Like you don't have to use heavies to get damage off. You can use lights and the stacked up lights. And there's things in her kit that make it so she's viable if you spec into her. There's nothing in Baal's kit that you could spec into to make him viable. And that's the sad part. Like the only thing you should spec into him if you want to play a boss build is his health. And you have to waste 6 points for that. Just to max out his health. And it's not worth it when you could just use a basic build for Baal. So yeah, unfortunately that's kind of like the state of Schemer. I don't think it's kind of hard to say if he needs a buff boss build, because if the boss is good, then he's going to be too oppressive. People are going to be using every part of his kit, right? Well, they won't be using elites, right? But they'll be using basics and boss. And basics are too good right now. Not to the point where they need a nerf, but good enough where if you buff anything else, no one would be using any other demon except Baal. At the same time, like I have games where I play Puppeteer and I always possess elites and are able to put out loads of damage and down survivors and win without even using basics. So I feel like I don't want to say like Puppeteer is the standard because I hate Puppeteer going up against Puppeteer as a survivor. I think it's like the most annoying game, more annoying than Baal and being Max Fear all the time. The explosions, like everything he does, it does damage to you as a survivor. The only way you can avoid damage is by doing finishers. And yeah. Honestly, if like the Puppeteer's units didn't explode, they would be kind of less and be okay to face against. But I don't know. leave some comments and tell me what you think about how demons should be, or should Baal be buffed? Should he be nerfed? I don't know about nerfed, but um, let me know your thoughts so I could try and show some more.